and welcome to another exciting tutorial. So in today's video I'll be taking you through the process of drafting an overbust corset. So before we proceed, if this is your first time of coming across this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button so you'll be notified whenever we drop tutorials like this. Alright, let's get started. So from the top of your pattern paper, you mark out your ½ inch as your starting point. Then from that point, mark your vertical measurement, which is your shoulder to your bust line, shoulder to your underbust, shoulder to your half length, and shoulder to the length of the corset you want to make. Okay, and don't forget your shoulder to your chest line. After that, you can go ahead and work on your neckline by inputting a basic neckline of 3 inches width and 3 inches depth. Okay, then after that, use a curve ruler and connect your neckline. The next thing is to input your shoulder measurement divided by 2, and after that you slant your shoulder by 1 inch. After slanting the shoulder, using a ruler, connect it back to meet your neckline. On your chest line, whatever you marked on your shoulder, you will have to mark the same on the chest line. So just mark anything you had on your shoulder line on your chest line, then you rule into a straight line. So after that, you are going to be creating our armhole. To create your armhole, all you need to do is to find the middle of this particular point now, mark it down, go in by ½ inch after finding the midpoint, then you use a curve ruler to connect all the points together as seen on your screen. Alright guys, so if you've watched to this point and you are yet to subscribe to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button so you'll be notified whenever we drop educative tutorials like this. So the next thing we'll be doing is to input our dart line. So to achieve this, you will have to divide your nipple to nipple measurements by 2. Mark it on your bust point and on your corset length. After that, you can now go ahead to rule into a straight line. Remember, you are starting from your bust point and to your corset length. After that, on your waistline, mark 0.75 on both sides and connect to form your dart. Before you connect your dart, from your waistline, go down by 6 inches. Then from your bust point, come down by ½ inch. Then you can now go ahead and connect your darts together. Alright guys, so the next thing we'll be doing is to divide our shoulder into 2 by finding the midpoint. Then using your ruler, you connect it back to meet the bust point. After that, go ahead and input your horizontal body measurement. This is your bust round, your hip round, and your waist round. Divide it by 4 and mark it on different points. Then use your ruler to draw out the desired shape. After that, we are going to be inputting our side dart, and the side dart is always on the bust area by the side. So the formula to that is your front half length minus your back half length. That's what you'll be using for your side darts. Go ahead and mark whatever value you had from your bust points towards your under bust. Then after that, you connect it in a slanted form back to meet your bust points. Alright guys, on your waistline, measure out your dart value, mark it on your under bust on both sides, and also mark it on the length of your blouse in between your darts. Okay, so the next thing you'll be doing is to use your ruler and connect it as seen. The next thing you'll be doing is to create your under bust curve to meet your bust points. So using your curve ruler, place it well and draw out the curves. Alright, so the next thing is to determine how high you want your neckline to be, that pointy neckline that we have close to the armhole. So here I used 4.5 inches. You can use 3 inches, you can use 3.5 inches. It depends on what you are trying to achieve. Okay, so after marking it out, use a ruler and draw broken lines. Alright, so this is now your new neckline. So on my shoulder line, I went ahead to create a dart that will help to avoid gaping on my neckline. All right, so the dart will help my neckline not to gape. So connect it back to your bust point as seen on this video. So after that guys, I will be closing that dart. I will close up that dart, but before I close up that dart, I will have to slash through my bust point, so it will be easy for me to close the dart. So slash through your bust point and close your dart. After closing the dart, we'll now draw our desired neckline. Alright, so at this point I realized that the deepest part of my neckline was too low. Alright, so from the chest line I went up by 1 inch, but you can still leave yours to be exactly on the chest line, just that I don't want mine to be too exposing. Right, so after that, use a curve ruler and connect it to meet the dart line that was on the shoulder, because that's the highest point of this neckline design. Then after that, we are going to be connecting it back to the armhole. But before we connect it back to the armhole, remember we closed our dart on the shoulder, so we have to replace that dart on the armhole, thereby creating a new armhole. So I went ahead to extend my armhole by 1/2 inch and I created a new armhole before placing your curve ruler to draw out the desired shape that you want. Remember, this one is towards the armhole, right? So the midpoint of this our center front is low, then towards the shoulder it's high, then on the armhole it slants back into the armhole. I hope I'm making sense. Alright, so after drawing the neckline into the armhole as seen, this is what I had, but later in this video I still went up a bit because it wasn't that pointy enough. So after that, guys, we'll have to open up our shoulder darts, so I will be able to close our side darts. So if you open up your shoulder darts, you will have to slant, like cut through, you have to slash through, cut through your shoulder darts, so you will be able to close your side darts. Alright, so I went ahead to cut through and close my side dart. So after closing the dart, I taped it down, and on my side I had to redraw my shape on the side as seen. Alright, so after that, go ahead and replace your darts. Measure out the dart on your chest line, on your waistline and on your hip line, and replace them accordingly. Then you draw back your shape. Okay guys, so at this point it's time to snatch my waist, and for me to do that successfully I had to divide this part into two, like from one dart leg towards the side. Alright, I divided it into two, my side front, and I'm going to go ahead and snatch my waist with 1/2 inch on both sides. My normal waist round is 30 inches minus 4 inches that I'm using to snatch my waist is 26, so I'm minusing 4 inches from my normal waist round and dividing it by 2. So I'm going to have 2 on the front pattern and 2 on the back pattern. So I went ahead to further divide it by 2, and I had 1 inch on both sides. That's why I did 1/2 inch on both sides. I don't know if you understand the calculation, but that is exactly what I did here. I used 1 inch for the 2 sides, which is 1/2 inch on each part. Alright, so now I'm just checking what I have left on my waistline, right? Because I need to have 26 inches left, and 26 divided by 4 should give me 6.5. So that is a 6.5. I had to confirm if I have up to 6.5 or I've over snatched, and I realized everything is okay. Alright guys, so after that, go ahead and redraw the shape that you want to have on the down part of your corset blouse. Okay, then design it in a way that is okay for you. At this point I wanted to redraw my down part, but I realized that if I don't close this dart and draw it, it's not going to, the edges are not going to be equal. So I had to just stop, and I went ahead to cut through my patterns and close my dart, so I will be able to successfully draw out my style lines. Alright guys, so before we proceed, if you're here to subscribe to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button so you'll be notified whenever we post educative tutorials like this. Don't also forget to click on the like button and also share this video with your friends. Thank you so much. So at this point we are almost done with our front pattern, right? So the next thing we'll be doing is to start drafting our back pattern. Alright, so we'll go ahead and draft our back pattern using a fresh paper. Mark 1/2 inch away from the top of your pattern paper. Then you go ahead to mark your vertical measurements, which is your shoulder to chest line, shoulder to your half length, and the length of the blouse you are working with. Remember that the front half length and the back half length is not the same. All right guys, so after that you go ahead and create your neckline, your input your shoulder measurement divided by 2, create your armhole, divide it into 2 and connect with a curve to give you your armhole, right? So after that guys, the next thing we are going to do is to input our round body measurement. Go ahead and mark your bust round measurement divided by 4 on your chest line, your waist round measurement divided by 4 on your waistline, and your hip round measurement divided by 4 on your hip line. We are just doing the same thing we did already on the front pattern. After that, just go ahead and draw out your shape using your ruler. All right guys, so the next thing is to mark 2 inches away from that point and 1 inch on the lower part. Roll into a straight line, then go ahead and mark another 2 inches. This one is for your lacing bar, okay? So on the top and on the down part as seen in this video, and you also roll into a straight line. This is for your lacing bar. All right guys, so after that we are going to be snatching our waist by dividing this part into 2, roll into a straight line. Then remember we used ½ inch for the front panel, that ½ inch on both sides, making it 1 inch. So we are doing the same ½ inch on this back panel, okay? ½ inch on both sides of the line, and it's make it 1 inch now. Then you connect the lines, connect them together. All right, so after that, the next thing is to go ahead and recheck if your waist round measurements after snatching is still intact. So the next thing is to introduce your front side panel and use it to redraw your back side shape, okay? Then after that, you can create whatever shape you want to create on the ending part, just like I did. So on this center back, I went down by ½ inch because I don't want my back to just be straight. I wanted to give it a little bit of design, okay? And I went ahead to label my patterns, and the next thing guys is to cut it out. All right guys, so at this point we've come to the end of the drafting video. That is all for the drafting tutorial of this overbust corset. So if you are yet to subscribe, I don't know what you are waiting for. Kindly click on the subscribe button. We'll be posting the sewing tutorial in another video. So that will be all for this particular video, okay? So kindly drop any question you have in the comment section. See you in the next video. Bye.